Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap Session for Thursday, November the 3rd, 2016. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. We create multiple hypotheses so that we have a plan in place for whatever the market comes at us. We do not try to bend our plan to the market. We let the market come to our plan. This is a subscription service, so if you'd like to check it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do this live every day in the go-to, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so yesterday our main hypothesis was rotation until the news, and our main hypothesis was a continuation to the downside towards that 85 to 83 level. We basically chopped all day until we were coming into the news. I think people knew, and then we got the news out. Our Fed number is 2095, and then it was kind of a non-event. We spiked up and then moved down and then moved up and then chopped and then sold off into the close. So, pretty subdued day for a Fed day. But again, we were wondering if that was going to be the case because of the trend day prior to Fed day. Looking at the news, obviously the big news is the Chicago Cubs won the World Series, first time in 100 years. I think it's 100 years or more than 100 years, since 1908. People are touting what happened to the market after the last Cubs World Series win, and it went plus 80 points. I don't think you can really gauge what happened 100 years ago to today. I mean, the markets are completely different. But who knows? Right now, we've got Governor Carney still speaking, Bank of England. Bank of England kept the monetary rate the same. We had unemployment claims came out the worst they've seen in 3 months, 265 versus 257, previous 258. Preliminary non-farm productivity, 3.1 versus 1.7, and preliminary unit labor cost, 0.3 versus 1.6, previous 4.3. 9:45, we've got final services PMI, but the other big news today would be the ISM non-manufacturing PMI and factory orders at 10 o'clock. 10:30, we had natural gas, and that's about it for today. Don't forget that tomorrow is non-farm employment change. That will be the big one tomorrow, as well as the Canadian unemployment rate and unemployment change. Taking a look at the macro to the micro, I'd like to start with the monthly. You can see that we are below the open of the month. The month is open is 21. Why do I have 21.23.50? It was 21.20. All right, that's the month, right? I'm going to make that change. Month open is 21.23.50. I had 21.20 down. But regardless, we're still seeing this downward pressure. We're trying to get below the 9 and come down and test the 20, which will take us down into that 2062, 66 level. So the trend is being challenged right now to the downside, but not violated. It won't get violated until we get below that 2060 area. Going to the weekly, you see that we are starting a downward trend. Our week open was 21.20, and we failed to get above the 9, and we're starting to see this downward trend. We broke out of this symmetrical triangle. I still think we're going to see some weakness coming in here go down and hit that 20, 80, 50 before we do anything. Our daily, again, you can see the trend is accelerating to the downside. We're getting slope and separation to the downside. Going to the intraday, accelerating again as we move down in the time frame, coming up, testing the 9 from below, closing this little technical gap, but you are seeing a strong downward trend on the 4-hour. Going to the 1-hour, we start seeing some support coming in here and move above the 9 and the 20. We have this naked cross on the 1-hour at 2091.50. Mark that down on your journal. But we are seeing possibility of start of an upward trend on the 1-hour. On the 30-minute, you can see it's accelerating. Again, another naked cross below us at 2089.75. The price is paralleling the 9 pretty nicely on the 30-minute. So we are getting a start of an upward trend and acceleration as we move down in these time frames to the smaller time frames. You can see it again here on the 15-minute. We got good slope, good separation. Price is paralleling the 9 pretty nicely. And then going down to the 5-minute, you can see that we're just stair-stepping up, but we're in a little bit of a consolidation area, so this might be a decision point right here at the 2097. I think it's 2098.50. That's the microcomposite VPOC for the 2 days, the trend day and yesterday, as a smaller inside type of day. Let's take a look at that right here on the composite. Again, just to put things in context, most of the year we've traded in this area right here, in this distribution zone with all the undetermined fair value, but more importantly around the 2035.50, which is the composite VPOC going back to the beginning of 2013. We broke out on this day right here, gapped up, and accepted value at 2115.75, and then started working our way up, and we created this value area that is up here between the 65 and the 22.25, and then we had our significant breakout day and fell out of that balance, come down. Now we're trying to find some price acceptance here in around the 98.50. We got this little distribution zone going on. We're in the middle of no man's land. We're between two long-term value areas in an area that has not been auctioned properly, so we could spend some time in this area chopping around between the 2109 and the 2088.50. 88.50 is going to be our key line in the sand, but I'm going to move it down slightly because of the fact that we did dip down below it and we had a low down here at 87.25, so 87.25 will be our key line in the sand today to the downside. Key line in the sand really doesn't move down. You can't really use the 96 area. We have to use the 2109. The 50% retracement of the significant breakout candle is 2108.25. That doesn't change either. We didn't quite get there yesterday. We had a high of 0650. We basically two-ticked the VPOC from the trend day and then failed. And basically, we spent most of the day stuck in the wick here from the trend day. So that's the big picture. Taking a look at the overnight, we do have a week high put in overnight. This 2098.75 has been being banged on several times, so I'm expecting that we're likely going to break that to the upside, probably even before the RTH open, and do what we've been doing a lot of is testing and putting in new highs or lows coming into the Globex and taking that overnight stat out right away on the open. So right now our overnight low, we do know that's going to hold. That's down right here at the 84, 2 ticks above that naked VPOC. Our current high, and it's likely to get taken out, is the 98.75, 3 ticks above the VPOC from yesterday. Pretty decent kurtosis right here at the 98. So I think we're going to see some chop in this area. There is a LVN right here at 95. I'm going to use that as a trade area. I'm actually going to shift it just down slightly to 94.75. And then currently our VPOC is still down at 2090, but again, it could shift. Likely shift will be in around the 96, but we'll just put it in at the 90 for the time being. And then that's all the information I need there. There's not a lot to go on in this area. Right now, our 20-period ATR is running at 1974 on the full session daily. So off of the low overnight of 2084 plus the 1974, our upside daily ATR target is 2103.75. Let's move that. And again, it's likely to change, but off of the 2098.75. Puts our downside daily ATR down at 79. That's going to likely move up at some point in time. So we're going to be inside of range, inside of value. So we're going to be looking at what our levels are. Obviously, the value area is a valid value area. So I'll be using the 2101 and the 92. 92.50 is the close. So I'm looking for us to come down and take out that close. And then below the 92, there really isn't anything there until we get down to the 88.50. And I'm going to put the key line in the sand basically at the low of yesterday. But we have to be aware of that 88.50, so I'm just going to mark it as a target. And then above us, above that, we have the daily ATR upside target and the HVN up here at 2104.50, and then 0650 range high, and then our key line in the sand, and all our targets remain the same. So those are all the key levels for the day. Again, we're in this low volume area that surrounds the 09.25 and 88.50. So we're likely to get some chop. So what is my hypothesis? Well, my main hypothesis today is a continuation down, and I'm looking for an open auction out of range. Possibility of coming up and testing the 2100s, maybe even pushing into the 2103-04 area, but I'm looking for responsive sellers to step in here and push us down through, take out the close, traverse the value area, chop around in this area, and then push through to test that 88.50, 87.50 area, chop here, and then push through down to the overnight low down at the 84, and come down here and chop in here. I'm not expecting a real big trend day today. I'm just expecting a lot of chop in this area with a probe to the downside into that 85 to 83 level. So hypo wide is open auction in range. A lot of large rotations, failure to hold in the 2100s, and then fail and come down and chop in the lower distribution of the day, test the key line in the sand, and then poke through down into the 83 level. Hypo 2 is an open auction in range. Chop in this range, push down to the 92, find responsive buyers, and then rotate us up through value, chop in the 2100 area, and then push through and come up into the 2108 and chop and come up and test this key line in the sand. So hypo 2, open auction, move down, find responsive buyers, then rotate up and grind up into the 2100s, chop in there, and then push through up into the 06 to 09 area. Hypo 3 is an open auction in range, a failure to get above 2100, push down, chop in the 87, 88 area, push through down into the 83, and then get a continuation wave down and come down here and test this 6650, which is the top side of that distribution zone that we were in for so long. So basically a possible trend day down. And then hypo 4, open auction in range, and get stuck and just chop in this area here. I am not looking for any type of major rally into the 2100s today. I think we're going to get a rotational day with either a grind to the downside or a grind to the upside. If any trend happens, it's likely to be to the downside on news, coming out on the election and what's going on with Hillary and the FBI. So that's going to complete the pre-market session. I wanted to keep things short today. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.